My ticket didn't get canceled by accident. My own mom did it, just to watch me fail. People stared as the airline agent said, "Sir, your ticket was manually voided." And right then, my phone buzzed with my mom's message, "Have fun walking home, loser." But she had no idea I wasn't the broke, powerless son she thought I was. Before I continue, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, because what happened next shocked the entire airport. I stood there frozen for a second, not because I was scared, but because I knew exactly why she did it. She wanted revenge. Yesterday, I refused to give her money for my stepbrother's emergency, which was just another one of his gambling nights. Mom hated when I said no, and she always hit back hard. The agent frowned at the screen. "Sir, your ticket was manually voided." 4:12 a.m. Exactly the time my mom wakes up to pray and gossip with relatives on speakerphone. Behind me, I heard two relatives whispering. Aunt Linda smirked. "He can't even afford a ticket. Shiloh always talks big but has nothing." I didn't turn around. I didn't argue. Because if I opened my mouth, I might reveal why I was actually traveling and who was waiting for me at the other end. My phone buzzed again. Another message from my mom. "Next time, don't act smart. Maybe this will teach you your place." My chest tightened, not from pain, but from the quiet fire that had been building for years. They thought I was weak. They thought I was stuck. They thought I was still the Shiloh who slept on a couch and walked to work in the rain. They didn't know about the startup I built in silence. They didn't know the offer I was going to sign today. The agent sighed. "Sir, I'm sorry. All flights are full. You'll have to wait 2 days." 2 days? Not a chance. I opened my other phone, the one no one knew about, and typed a message to someone whose reply could flip the entire situation upside down. And when it buzzed back, my heart didn't race, because the reply was exactly what I expected. "I'll handle it. Give me 5 minutes." Aunt Linda laughed louder. "Look at him pretending. He's probably texting himself." But before I could even breathe, a voice echoed across the hall. "Mr. Shiloh, we're ready for you. Please follow me." Everyone turned. Even I wasn't prepared for who walked up to me. And the moment they saw who came to escort me, the whole airport went silent. The entire terminal froze when the airline's regional manager, yes, the one whose name shows up in newspapers during holiday travel chaos, walked straight toward me with 2 staff members. Aunt Linda's fake laugh died in her throat. Even the agent who denied me earlier stood up like she'd seen a ghost. "Mr. Shiloh," said the manager, smiling like I was some VIP. "We were alerted about the issue. Your seat is restored. Please come with me. We've upgraded you." Upgraded? Mom canceled my ticket, and the airline's top boss was personally escorting me? Aunt Linda's eyes widened. Upgrade for him? The manager didn't even look her way. We don't let important clients wait. Important clients. That line alone nearly made my relatives choke. But I stayed calm, because they still didn't know the truth. We walked through a private security lane. People stared, whispering, trying to guess who I was. My relatives followed behind quietly like their legs stopped working. What exactly do you do?" Aunt Linda finally asked, her voice shaking. I turned slightly. "You'll find out soon." Her face fell. She hated answers like that. My phone buzzed again. Another message from my mom. "Stop trying to act like you're something. The world knows you're a failure." She had no idea I was walking toward a lounge only celebrities and billionaires used. We stepped inside. Gold lighting, soft music, leather seats. Aunt Linda gasped. "This is for VIP only. Shiloh, are we sure we're allowed?" The manager smiled. He is more than allowed. My relatives stood there speechless. But the real shock hit when a man in a suit walked toward me, one of the board members of the company I had been secretly negotiating with.
"Shiloh," he said, shaking my hand. "We're ready. The documents are prepared. Once you land, our driver takes you straight to headquarters." Aunt Linda's eyes flew open. "Headquarters? For what?" Her voice cracked like she already feared the answer. The manager added softly, "He didn't tell you?" I looked at my relatives. All my life they mocked me, called me useless, called me broke, called me a burden. They thought I was still the same Shiloh. I finally spoke. I didn't tell anyone because I wanted peace, not jealousy. Their mouths dropped. The board member nodded. Once he signs, he becomes part owner of one of the fastest growing tech companies in the country. Aunt Linda clutched her chest. But before I could enjoy the moment, my phone buzzed again. This time, a video call from my mom. I picked up. Her first words were, "Why did the bank freeze your stepbrother's account? Did you do something?" Mom's voice came through the phone sharp, panicked. Nothing like the message she sent earlier when she called me a loser. "Shiloh, answer me! Why is your stepbrother crying? Why did the bank block his account? They said someone reported suspicious activity under my name." My hand tightened around the phone. I hadn't touched anything, but someone else had. Someone who'd been watching my family's behavior for months. "Mom," I said slowly, "what exactly did the bank tell you?" She snapped. "They said the account was flagged after a transfer from an unknown business." Her voice cracked. "And they're asking for legal documents, your legal documents." A chill ran through my spine. Only one company had access to any part of my financial background. The same company whose board member was standing 10 feet away. Why would they dig into my family? I turned to the board member. "Did your team run checks already?" He swallowed. "Yes, we vet every partner. And, Shiloh, we found something your family should have told you a long time ago." My heart dropped. Aunt Linda whispered, "What did they find? Tell us." For once, she wasn't mocking. She looked scared, like her entire world was cracking. The board member spoke carefully. "Your name is tied to a trust fund created 18 years ago." I frowned. "That's impossible. We were broke. We barely survived. Mom always said we had nothing." He shook his head. "This was created by your father before he died." Mom's voice exploded through the phone. "Lies! He left us nothing! Don't listen to them, Shiloh!" But the board member continued anyway. "The trust was supposed to activate on your 25th birthday. Someone changed the documents 3 years ago and removed you as the beneficiary." A small gasp escaped Aunt Linda. "Removed me? Someone erased me from my own father's trust?" Mom's breathing turned shaky. "Shiloh, hang up. Hang up now." But the board member didn't stop. He said, "We traced the signatures on the documents. The one who requested the removal was your mother." The room fell silent. Even the air felt heavier. Aunt Linda's face twisted. You did that? You took his inheritance?" Mom screamed through the phone. "He didn't deserve it. He was supposed to help his brother, not keep money for himself." My chest burned, not from anger, but from betrayal so deep it felt personal, cold, sharp. I whispered, "You stole my father's last gift to me?" She hissed, "I raised you. I earned it." The board member stepped closer. "Shiloh, that trust fund didn't just hold money." He handed me a folder. Inside were papers, old signatures, and a letter with my father's handwriting. Aunt Linda moved behind me, trying to look. "What is it?" she whispered. I read the first line, and my entire world shifted. It wasn't just money. It wasn't just property. It wasn't just a fund. It was something bigger, something powerful, something my mother never wanted me to see. And as I reached the final line of the letter, my hands started shaking. My father's handwriting trembled slightly on the paper, like even he knew this truth would explode my entire life the moment I read it. Shiloh, if you're reading this, it means the people around you hid things I never wanted you to suffer from.
My breath caught. Aunt Linda covered her mouth. Even the board member stepped back, giving me space. My father continued, "You are not just my son. You are the rightful heir to the company I built before I died. Your mother never wanted you to know. She wanted control." The room spun. Heir? To a company? A company I never even knew existed? I flipped the page, and that's when everything snapped into focus. The letter listed the company name, the one my mom always said went bankrupt years ago, the one she blamed for our financial struggles. Except it didn't go bankrupt. It was sold, silently, for a massive amount. And my father legally transferred majority ownership to me. My heart thundered. I looked at the board member, my voice shaking. "Is this real?" He nodded. "We verified everything. The company you're about to partner with was actually founded from the technology your father's company created, which means—" Aunt Linda finished the sentence in a whisper. "Shiloh owns the core rights." My entire body went cold. If that was true, I wasn't just getting a partnership. I wasn't just some rising entrepreneur. I owned the very foundation of a corporation worth hundreds of millions of dollars. My mom's voice burst through the phone, high and panicked. "Shiloh, stop listening. They're twisting everything. I protected you. I protected all of us." Her desperation only confirmed it. I stared at the letter again, at the final line my father wrote. "If they ever tried to take this from you, show them the documents and walk away. You don't owe them your loyalty if they betray you." My eyes burned, not from sadness, but from raw, rising fury mixed with relief I'd never felt before. I turned slowly toward Aunt Linda, who looked pale. "You mean to tell me," she whispered, "your mother hid a company from you and stole your inheritance to give it to her other son?" I didn't need to answer. The silence did it for me. Mom screamed, "Shiloh, come home now! We can fix this! We can share it! We can—" I finally spoke, my voice calm but heavy with truth she never expected to hear. "You didn't want to share anything with me for 25 years. Today, you only want me back because the truth slipped out." Her breathing broke. "Shiloh, please!" But I lowered the phone. The board member leaned closer. "As the rightful heir, you need to sign one more thing. Once you do, everything your father left becomes fully yours. Your mother loses all control." My hand hovered over the pen. But then, the lounge doors burst open. My stepbrother stormed in, red-faced, sweating, eyes wild. He shouted across the room, "Shiloh, don't sign anything! If you do, Mom said we'll all lose everything!" He wasn't alone. Behind him was someone I never expected to see again. And the second I saw that person, my entire chest tightened. The person standing behind my stepbrother made my stomach drop. My father's old lawyer. The same man who disappeared right after Dad died. He walked toward me slowly, ignoring my stepbrother's panic. "Shiloh," he said, voice steady, "your father knew this day would come. He gave me one last envelope and told me to deliver it only when your mother tried to steal your future." My stepbrother shouted, "Don't give it to him!" But the lawyer placed the envelope in my hand anyway. Inside was a single document. A court order signed years ago, stating that as soon as my mother attempted fraud against me, every asset tied to the trust would transfer directly and permanently to me. No sharing, no negotiation, no loophole. My stepbrother froze. Aunt Linda gasped. Even the board member raised his eyebrows. I looked up at the lawyer. "So, the moment she erased my name—" He nodded. "It all became yours."
My phone buzzed again, Mom calling. I didn't pick up. I signed the partnership contract, the trust papers, and the inheritance transfer in one steady motion. It was over. My stepbrother whispered, "Shiloh, what about us?" I stood, calm, finally free. "You spent years laughing at me. You don't get to cry now." The board member shook my hand. "Welcome, Shiloh. You're officially one of the most powerful shareholders in the company." As we walked towards the private gate, the entire airport watched, the same people who saw me get humiliated an hour earlier. But I didn't look back.